Hello, I'm B.A. Shepherd. Welcome to I Dominate Life, my daily video blog of encouragement and empowerment to help you elevate your life to the highest levels. Watching the news and listening to, the weatherman, and what he said was something that struck me and it caught my attention. Last few days I've been talking about storms and the storms of life, and what the weatherman said was that today we would experience unsettled conditions. And two words couldn't have jumped out and hit me much harder. That he said that today there will be unsettled conditions. And right now, if you could see the sky, it's just a couple clouds, but mostly blue and clear. But later, it's supposed to storm, and whatever these unsettled conditions are, they're going to have an impact on our day. And it was really timely that he said that we were going to experience unsettled conditions, because after listening to the weather and hearing the report, I got an email from a person that's watching videos and watching the blog, and she shared with me that yesterday she got a report that her mother has two growths in her breast, and it immediately hit me. That's an unsettled condition. That this woman found out that her mother has something going on inside of her body, that these two masses in her mother's breast are now present, that the doctors are telling them about. It's an unsettled condition, because now, there's something going on that they don't necessarily have all the answers about. They don't know. There's so many unknowns, and in our life we have these unknowns. Unsettled conditions. They're conditions. They're the storms. These are the storms of life. We can sometimes. I talked about the storms, but here it is, real storm. That's a storm. That when you find out that your loved one has something going on inside of their body that's not supposed to be going on. When you find out that something tragic has happened. When you find out that perhaps someone's leaving you, you're getting a divorce. When you start to find these things out, these are unsettling conditions. When you just don't know what's going to happen, and when things go different than how they normally flow, those are unsettling conditions. And so I started to think about what happens in these unsettling conditions. And there was a story. I grew up in church and went to church, and I remember a story. It brought to mind a story where the men, they were on the boat, and the storm was happening. And all of a sudden, while on the boat, Jesus says to the storm, "Peace, be still." And the waves calm, and everything became calm and peaceful. And I started to think about our unsettling conditions. And I've been in situations where people say, "Oh, you know what? If you can you speak to your storm, tell your storm to be still." Well, I'm sorry. That might work for some people, but it's never worked for me. It's never really worked for me that I could speak to a storm in my life and it just go away. Now, if it works, I could go outside when it rains later today, perhaps, and tell the storm to stop raining. More than likely, it's not going to stop raining just because I said stop raining. Peace, be still, stop raining. No, it's not what's going to happen. But here's what I do know. What I know, because I've been through stuff in my life, you've been through stuff, what I know is that the transformation of your mind, the renewing of your mind, will transform your life. And so what I can say and what I can control, what you can control, is yourself. What's going on inside of you? So you may not be able to talk to your storm and tell your storm to be still, but you can speak peace into your own life and settle yourself. See, as you start to renew your mind and settle your mind around some things, then your life begins to have peace. And even in the middle of a storm, you're settled. And that's what matters, because it's all about you. See, what happens in life is not abnormal. Everybody has stuff. Your stuff may seem very detrimental, very tragic, and that's true. People's stories are different. But everyone has stuff. Everyone has storms they have to deal with. And so as we begin to measure our storms against someone else's, that's where we get it wrong, because for that person, that was their storm. And it felt just as bad. And for you, right now, you're going through unsettled conditions. And the conditions may not settle for some time, but what you can do is speak peace to yourself. You can start speaking peace to your situation, knowing that in every situation, for every problem, there is an answer. For the young lady who found out that her mother has masses in her breast, well, beginning to worry, it creates an atmosphere of worry. So start to settle yourself. Start to speak words of life. Start to speak words of healing. There is an answer. When the body begins to speak and illness and issues present themselves in our natural body, there is an answer. There's an answer of healing. So we begin to speak healing. See, the problem is so often we focus on the unsettled condition instead of focusing on what settles the matter. We get so caught up wanting to run through the rain to get to where we're going that sometimes we don't realize, you know what, in the midst of the rain, if we just bring an umbrella, or perhaps if we just put on a raincoat, if we somehow are prepared, can prepare ourselves for what is currently happening, and we can make it through and still get to where we're going. That's why cars have windshield wipers, because in certain conditions, there's a preparation that takes place. And for these unsettled conditions of our life, here's what you need. What you need is a word of life. Here's also what you need. What you need is a means by which you can rehearse that and duplicate that over and over again. You need a way that you're going to continually implement that into your life until you control your mindset about it. Until it becomes second nature that you're not going to speak death and you're going to speak life, you have to keep rehearsing. You have to keep duplicating that thought, that idea of healing and wholeness and prosperity in your life. So you have an idea, you duplicate it, you implement it, and then you control the situation. And then you have dominion. That's where you dominate life. A simple process. I'm not saying this to pump myself up, but I'm saying, you know what? If you find that these videos are encouraging to you, watch them. Watch them. Let it get inside of you, because they're a word of life. They're a word of encouragement to help you get, again, to that highest place that you want to get to. In an unsettled condition of a storm, you can still elevate yourself to a place where your mindset is such that it transforms your perspective on the situation. Speak life and know that there is an answer. And know that as you speak life, it begets life. And so that's what we're moving to. We're moving to living and living more abundantly. And so our words need to precede us. Our thoughts need to surround us and create an atmosphere of dominating life. Thanks for joining me. Have a tremendous day, and know that you too can dominate life.